Part 3. So yeah, I was talking about in the last video about judging for yourselves. Verse 10 of 1 Corinthians 11. Actually, verse 13. Says, judge for yourselves. Is it proper for a woman to pray to God with her head unveiled? So yeah, it's kind of like you figure it out. Like I just gave you the information. I laid out the cards for you to take, and that's how I view that. And it goes on to say that does not nature itself teach you that if a man wears his hair long, it is a disgrace to him, whereas if a woman has long hair, it is her glory, because long hair has been given her for a covering. I don't know how to decipher that one. It starts to get I start to get a little fuzzy there, but I see it as perfectly good reason to cover. I mean, and it's true. I mean, for me, I prefer guys with shorter hair. I mean, some guys look pretty good with long hair, but some just sort of like grab them and lop it off. Just cut it off now. And then some girls, it's like they look pretty good with short hair, but then it's sort of like, please let it grow out. That looks strange. I mean, me without my hair. I mean, if I don't have like makeup on or earrings on or something like, and I don't have a covering on, and I just have straight face, no hair, I look like a boy. And I was mistaken way too much when I was 13 as a boy, and I am not interested in going back to those days. Not fun. So so yeah, and then verse 16, but if anyone is inclined to be argumentative, we do not have such a custom, nor do the churches of God. I'm Catholic, so as I've already told you, and as you can see by these things here, the church is universal. Back then, all the churches were on the same page. Everybody was doing everybody was Catholic until about the 1500s. And there are no other churches with different customs. And this is just my interpretation. Like I said, this is getting fuzzy for me at this point, but everybody was on the same page. Everybody was doing the same thing except the Corinthians. And going back to that first verse where Saint Paul was talking about in verse 2, I praise you because you remember me in everything and hold fast to the traditions just as I handed them to you. Now, I just realized that they're following the traditions of the church, the universal church that everybody's talking about and things like that. And everybody was on the same page. They were all connected. It was kind of like the internet. Everybody was on the same page. And there were traditions that they were following, except covering their hair. So, and that's how I take it. You don't have to take it that way, but everyone else was taking part in that tradition, except the Corinthians, and then St. Paul was talking to them about it because, like, well, this is why you need to do it, because, so apparently it was a big enough issue. It wasn't sort of like, oh, they're not doing it, but that's alright. I mean, it's just a scarf, it's just, whatever. He was like, you kind of need to do it, and that's just my interpretation. I'm not saying everybody should cover. It's just, I mean, obviously I cover, so I feel that I should cover. So I'm not gonna say like, oh, well, you don't have to. I mean, that's just how it is. But that's just my biblical basis for covering and never praying or prophesying. And thing is, I pray all the time. I just don't have time to do prayer in the morning for an hour, prayer in the evening. I just pray all the time. And then the whole angels and hierarchy thing, it's kind of like, well, I mean, do the angels not care when I'm not praying? Do the angels not care because I'm not a Corinthian or Corinthian? The angels, I mean, really, and does the hierarchy just evaporate as soon as I leave church, or does the hierarchy care that I'm not a Corinthian? I don't know. But for me, I feel that no, they don't evaporate once I leave church, or once they, since I'm not a Corinthian, those things just don't go away. So I cover my hair all the time, and also for convenience because it's just easier. I don't want to cover my head or put my hand on my head, and people are like, "Why do you keep looking with your hand on your head?" And I'm like, "I'm praying every 5 minutes, really. I mean, if I were to tally it up, seriously, it would just be weird if I were constantly doing this and then just randomly just for that. I mean, especially during exam season. Oh, I'm coming up into exam season. I've been having exams all over the place. And there are lots of prayers going around there. I mean, believe me. So that's just my opinion on head covering, and I like covering my hair. It's great. It's gotten to the point where I don't like the idea of not covering. It's just very bothersome to me. I'd rather cover. It's just better for me. And there's so much. I mean, there's so much I can do with it, and people don't really care at my school, and that's fine. I mean, I'm in the country, so but colleges are always very liberal, and people are always trying new things. But I'm an agriculture major, so there's a certain type of people in that major, if you know what I mean. And they all chew tobacco, and they all spit, and they all have accents, and they're all country. But even they don't talk to me, but they haven't said anything to me or anything about it. Nobody said anything about it, and that's fine. I mean, I don't want anyone to say. I mean, if they ask me a question, I don't want to say like, "Hey, what is this?" I don't want to hear any I don't like bad comments. So just so you know, don't leave any bad comments for this video. No bad comments. They make me sad. I take things personally. I'm very sensitive. I'm very sensitive. So that's why I'm gonna make everybody leave bad comments just for the fun of it now. But I'll find you. I will find you. But yeah, just keep the comments kosher, everybody. I mean, religion. I mean, let's peace and charity and happiness. Okay, okay. And I guess I could, post more videos. I don't know if I get a response to this one, maybe, and I'll try and wear different coverings and things like that. Yeah, it's it's like 9 o'clock. I don't usually I'm in shorts and a t-shirt at this time, but I figured, it's a video about covering, so I may as well, cover and wear one of my favorite, kind of modest outfits. Um, just to give some girls out there or women some inspiration if they're looking into covering, because there's all sorts of types, but it was hard for me to find a type. I was like, oh, I like the mesh caps, but that's not gonna fit here. Um, and some inspiration. It doesn't have to be a hijab and full face, and it doesn't have to be like a peasant scarf. You can get ideas, but it's hard to find ideas. So I figured I give some ideas, and you know um or a little bit of makeup to match your scarf. Sew some thingies just to make it fun and things like that. And I also noticed that once you start covering your hair, you start trying to be modest in other areas. You're not gonna wear anything low cut and like to go with your head covering. That just doesn't fit. So I because of school, I came up to the freshman 25. And I don't mean gaining 25 pounds. I pretty much lost 25 pounds. I am walking everywhere. School is eating me. So anyway, so my pants are nice and modest. They're kind of baggy now. I don't look like a boy, but they're not tight. They never really were, but they're not clingy. And I try and keep my shirts not too tight, nothing tucking under anything or anything like that. So I try and keep things covered, and I just try and be I was already modest, but just keeping it in mind. Unfortunately, that has come to bite me, because I'm in college and everybody's not modest. Leggings are not pants. I am saying that now. Leggings are not pants, and because I'm so conscious of modesty now, I noticed immodesty all over the place, and it's not because I'm judgmental. It's just that leggings aren't pants, and they're not meant to be worn as pants. They're meant to be covered. You buy them in the underwear section, therefore they go under something. But anyway, that's a rant for another day. I'm not going to get into there. But anyway, that is why I cover. I cover my hair for religious reasons. I love covering my hair. It's great. Looks kind of Muslim, kind of. I don't know. I mean, I show a lot of neck if I'm going for the Muslim thing. It's just the forehead. It's a lot of forehead. I mean, it's a lot of forehead, and I just their style with the forehead band is so great, because it's like the forehead was a big thing for me, because it's little like you don't want to look too weird. I mean, really, you don't want to. It's hard doing something different and then transitioning to from normalcy to something different, and being self conscious about that, but then also being self conscious about something else on top of it. So, the forehead covering, because I wear like an underscarf, because also this is not a good material for my hair. So I had to wear something under it to protect my hair from, being ripped out. Because cotton will do that. I mean, it will tear the stuff out. It's just like, why is my hair falling all over the place? And I don't like that. I don't like that at all, because, I'm growing my hair natural now, and I want it to grow long and things like that. And, yeah, and also, another reason I cover my hair, well, I start it now, because, some people wait until after they're married, because, they have a husband, the hierarchy. I wanted to cover before I got married, if I get married, I mean, really. Just because some women, because the husband is the head of the household, and we are to submit to their will. That's how I feel. And essentially, I didn't want to be in a situation where I feel the need to cover my hair, but my husband doesn't want me to. At least this way, I have a fighting chance that, we go out on a date, I have my hair covered. We're together, I have my hair covered. My hair is always covered, so it's sort of like what you see is what you get. And it's sort of like, well, if you like that, then great. If you don't, then, maybe, we could come to a compromise, or we just shouldn't, go forward with this. But I just don't want to end up it'll just I figure it'll be easier to already cover, people already meet me and know me this way, versus going in this whole opposite direction and things like that. So that's just another reason for covering. But anyway, thank you for watching my very long videos. I hope you enjoyed them. Leave kind comments, please. I'm stressed out. I'm in school. I, I need gentleness. But yeah. Tax. Peace be with you. May the force be with you. And have a great time. For you ladies who are covering, right on, sisters, right on. For you men who are, all for women covering, uh, right on, brothers, right on. And for you ladies, discerning whether or not you should cover or not, right on, sisters, because, that's the first step, just thinking about it. So, bye! Have fun! I'm turning off my screensaver. It won't go away. Sorry.